Hello, my name is Andrew Humphreys. I'm a RedQuadrant consultant delivering consultancy to improve public services. Most of my work sits between strategy development and detailed analysis. And that's usually a sort of custom analysis and modeling with financial and operational data to plan change and transformation. As part of our LGR hub, we are sharing some things that you may not have thought about before starting your LGR transformation program. And having been involved in the analysis for a number of business cases, I wanted to share three things that you may not have thought about in relation to finance and sustainability, and principally why business cases don't deliver on their promise. The first thing I want to say is that savings aren't savings. In fact, I no longer use the word savings because it focuses everybody on a sort of a model and on budgets and on sort of simple numbers like percentages. I think it's much better to use terms like cost avoidance, cost reduction, efficiency gains, and income generation. By using these more precise terms, we focus much more on the mechanisms of change and what's actually driving the cost of the service, not simply a sort of number in a spreadsheet or a report. The second thing I'm going to say is that it costs money to spend less money. So many business cases have two figures, the current cost of the service and the future cost of the service, having made proposed changes, with statements like our cost base will reduce from X to Y. So a couple of examples: preventative interventions that might reduce the cost or avoid costs have to be added to the service and won't have a positive financial impact until the legacy caseload has worked through the system. Also, when introducing a new service model, it may be necessary to run the new model before the resource delivering the legacy model can be reduced. And if staff bills go down, how much will be needed for redundancy costs? So the two questions that you're much better off asking are, when will the change cost money and when will it reduce costs? And then finally, I want to talk about the arms and legs problem. Now, you may have seen infographics in business cases with little people, like a bar chart and the number of people or FTEs that are going to be removed from the cost base. So if we think about efficiency gains, removing duplication, customer self-serve, all those, you might come up with a figure where you say, well, it's going to reduce the need, the resourcing requirement by a percentage, 20%. So let's say you've now got 10 people who've got 20% less work to do between them. But actually, you can't just remove an arm or a leg and pay them less money. You have to actually undertake a full change program to realize the cost reduction from those gains that you've made. And of course, you may choose to redeploy that resource to improve performance in some other way. So the arms and legs problem is that you need to actually have a proper change program once you've made those gains around efficiency or duplication. So those are just three things to think about before you engage in your LGR transformation program. There's going to be some information about our LGR hub in the description of this video, and David Mason is our contact, and his details are also in the description. So do get in touch if you want to find out more about our LGR hub.